What's going on, guys? Today at Taco Vinyl we are installing our Rav4 XLE grill without the front sensors. This grill works with the 2019 plus Rav4 5th gen models. If it'll fit your rig, the number one question is if it has this kind of up-down kind of frown where it stoops down, you have the emblem in the front, and you don't have the sensors in this area, this grill will work for yours. We're going to jump right into this install. We're going to pop the hood, give kind of a rough overlay of what we're going to be doing, and then we're going to show you the tools that we're going to be using and the grill itself. Wonderful. To get started, we're going to pop the hood. The areas that we're going to be working on is right here on the upper part of the entire grill, in the wheel wells, both of them, and down below. We are going to have to remove the entire grill and bumper. It'll all come off on one. You will have to loosen the headlights for the bumper to become unclipped underneath here. And then from there, we'll take the entire grill, bumper assembly. We'll set it on a table and we'll go over the rough overview of what we're going to be doing to the backside. To start this install, you're going to need a 10mm socket or wrench, however you want to remove all those, cat claw, Phillips screwdriver, and some pry tools that will allow us to unclip the far side of the bumper over here without hurting the paint or breaking any clips. So let's jump over to the table. I'm going to show you guys the grill, what's included in the kit itself, and some of the tools that we'll be using. We're going to transition to the table. Today we're going to be using a 10mm socket. We have it on our ratcheting. You got your Phillips, a cat claw, and then I'd recommend an extension for the 10mm for those 10mm that are a little bit deeper. As for the grill itself, this is the face of it, and then we have the backing over on the table. They are powder coated black, kind of a textured smooth black, just for durability purposes and hiding any blemishes or anything that may come in contact with the grill. And then you'll get, then you'll get two hardware packets, one for the backing to the main grill itself, or to the bumper, and then the face of the grill to the backing. And I'll explain all that, but you'll get two hardware packets with these. And then with all that, we can go ahead and get started on our disassembly of the front bumper. We're gonna start up top and then transition to the wheel wells and then down below, and eventually be able to remove the bumper and set it up here on the table. Okay, we're gonna start out with our 10mm socket. We're gonna start from the far left and transition all the way over to the right. We're gonna take out the two bolts that hold in the We'll grab our cat claw. This little shield right here, you don't have to remove it, but it's easiest to remove it for install. So I just recommend people popping it out. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips that'll pop out. You can leave that there. And then this whole thing should be able to come up like that. And if you're that far, I gotta make sure there's one more bolt under here. It doesn't need to be removed. Perfect. Okay, and once we're done with that, we're going to transition over into the wheel well. I'm only going to do one wheel well, and then you guys will just do the exact same process over on the other one. That way we can keep this video kind of short and concise. Go my screw. Okay, pop that out. So these are the only two screws in the fender liner itself. And then down here, there's two screws as well. Cool. So you only technically have to undo the corner one. That way this thing comes undone like this. So just the first one right here, that's going to allow us to release the bumper. Then coming back in the wheel well, you can put your hand in. There's a clip here. There's a clip here. And there's a clip up top. I always go to this clip because we will have to remove part of this flare to allow us to get in behind to release the bumper. One. Cool. So now that will allow it to come off. So again, 3 clips. And then this is the part that's kind of tricky. You're gonna get in here. So you're gonna get your cat claw. You're gonna get in here and pry back the actual like fender guard, the wheel liner. Okay, and then in here, there's some clips. They start down low and you squeeze them. I'll show you guys when they're pumping out. Cool. So this is the clips I'm talking about. There's a little tooth on the backside, so if you compress it, it'll allow you to pop it out. And once you get it to right here, there's one more clip right here in the fender, or behind the flare. Will pop out. That's the one that everyone forgets during install. And then we're good to go on this side. Let's go to the, now you're gonna follow this process on the other side. You're gonna have 3 screws, 4 clips. And then once we do the other side, then we're gonna do the bottom of the bumper. And then I'll show you kind of how to release everything. Okay. Now that we've done both wheel wells, now we're going to transition to the bottom. Under here, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws up front. Now we're to the point where we're going to unclip the sides. This is the part of the install that I'd recommend having someone to help you hold it. It's not necessary, but it's recommended. I'll show you the pick tool that I prefer to use on these side fenders to help it so that you don't break clips. We're over here. This is my pick tool, just a super long, fine pointed pick. And I'll feed it up through the back of here. And your first clip is right here. What I'm gonna do is that up. And up. Boom. Okay, those are the three, I'd say, most challenging ones. And then you got the ones underneath the headlight, and that's why we undo the headlight. So then what we'll do, you'll come right here, grab this edge out. And then you're going to just bring some pressure to the front side, and that releases that. This is the point where I kind of set it back to where it was, and then we're going to go do the other side. And this is the part where this is why, oh, what the? Why didn't she let go? So there's 6, not 4. Okay, so this is the tricky part. I will hold it on my foot right here, and then down here in the bottom right are your clips. Boom. Off. So now we're on the back side of the grill. Sorry, the bumper. Where's my cat claw? Oh, there she is. There she be.
Almost drop that into the car. That would have been nice.
Haha, that would have been a nice touch. We are going to pop off these clips that hold the wiring harness. These guys are just clips that you can either compress from behind if you're able to get back there, or you can pick from the front like that. So once this comes loose, I will always try to disconnect this guy if he'll come off nicely. Doesn't want to come off nicely. Jeez. Okay, cool. So we unclipped our wiring harness. There's quite a few little clips, but disconnecting it now just make our life easier in the long run. Now what we're going to do is there are 6 screws right here on the bottom that you'll need a Phillips for. Come on. Okay, and then you're going to go up to the mid screws up here. So you're going to remove a total of 8 screws, which will kind of allow this to float up. What won't allow it to float up all the way are these clips right here, which you just press down, and then they're able to kind of pop off and release. I'm also going to just, we're just going to remove that whole upper piece so you guys have a better view. because this upper piece isn't too bad. So you're gonna take the 2 more screws out the top. There's these clips, 4 of them. And then down over here on the end, you're gonna pull on this, lift it up, and there's a little one right here. That, if you're lucky, a Phillips will take it out. If you're unlucky, it won't. Popped out. Popped up, which should release the rest of this lower part, which is what we want to remove. There should be one more clip somewhere. Oh, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, you gotta remove the TSS sensor as a whole. That thing will come down. Just keep that hardware separate. That allows that whole piece to kind of pop up. And then your last little clip is going to be right here. Peace. Just like that. It's always so nerve-wracking. Okay, this piece removed. We'll set this underneath. And now we're actually at the part where we're going to install part of the grill. So use your cat claw. You can start over on one side, but you're going to end up popping all these like little clips off right here. Add a little bit of back pressure so when you actually do release one, it comes off. Just like that. And then kind of once you get in a roll, they will pop off a little easier. Okay, our grill is off. It's the one we don't need no more. Okay, now with this off, we can set this aside as well. And now we are going to grab not the face of our grill, but the backing. Cool. So this part lines up with the snap-ins that we just popped off. Boom. Okay. We're all clipped in. Held in there really, really well. Now that that part is clipped in, what we're going to do is we're going to flip the grill around, and we're going to use our stainless steel hardware with our rubber spacers. Should have one screw or bolt for every single pass through. It'll go bolt, grill, and then spacer. That's so that we don't get any rust or it doesn't take off any of the powder coat, even though these are made out of aluminum. The bolt through the grill, I added the spacer, and then there's already threaded inserts on this backing, and you just want to barely put the, or like thread it in enough to where like the grill can still move, so that we can add all of the hardware before before you tighten anything down. Because if you tighten something down at the beginning, it will make your life miserable. I guess hold it in its spot so it don't fall out on you. And I know a lot of you are asking, does it come with black hardware? No. If you want to find some black hardware, we were unable to find a source for quality black hardware that won't rust out in a few months. So we use all stainless steel stuff, and then if you choose to paint them or whatever you want to do with them, that's up to you. So I'm just unscrewing this one to kind of make my life a little easier. Just gonna put all the bolts through. Cool. So now we got all of them roughly threaded with the rubber washer. Now we're gonna put it back up. I'm gonna start on the corner over here. And the other part that you gotta watch out for is do not cross thread. In this case, cross thread is not nature's Loctite. What was stopping me? Okay, got them all threaded. Now what we're gonna do is get our driver, I think 10 mil. Of course it's not, it's an 11 mil. Now that we've got all these screws threaded, I just thread them softly. So we will be offering, if you do want washers, we can include washers. There's a long debate on whether we include washers or not. Turns out most people don't want the washers. I think it might damage the powder just a little bit if you don't, but we're gonna sell this grill without washers. If you do want, we will have that option if you do want them. They're, these are 1/4 and then the washer that would just go around it, you'll just get a 1/4 inch washer that will go over that. Stainless steel, of course. Yeah.
You get long enough bolts.
Hey, you saw what a difference it made. So go slow on these just so you don't scratch the powder coat. And these don't need to be extremely tight, they just need to be snug. There we go. They're all snugged up now. After final install, if you want to kind of lightly tighten them with like a handheld one or a manual one, that would be wise. Okay, now what we're going to do is reinstall our upper flashing piece, like so. Okay. These screw holes, we're ditching the actual screws and we're going to be using our second bag of stainless steel hardware with washers. Those will pass through Then these thread into here. Okay, we're gonna now toss in your upper section. I was lined up with the middle first, and then it'll just clip up and into the upper piece. Where are you? There we go. Oh. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. That guy goes up. Okay, so now we got the back insert done. The front grill is in. Now we clipped in this upper piece. We dremeled these out just a little bit because sometimes they're not going to line up perfect. This is plastic, like you kind of have to move it a little bit. You then take your hardware. You're going to bring these in. All these can be hand threaded on. To begin with, and then we will fasten them up. Okay, we got 2 more of these to put in. Actually, I grabbed the wrong hardware to begin with. These were too long. Last part is let's cinch these up. Snug. Perfect. Okay, now that those are in, we're going to remount our TSS sensor. Okay. Like this. Perfect. Okay, now these, you're gonna have this one that clips right back in up top. And goes up there. Put that one in. Toss that guy. Okay, last part is in. We eliminated this one. So you're gonna get a wet rag and some alcohol. Clean 2 spots roughly in this area. You'll get 2 zip tie saddles and 2 zip ties in the kit. Great. We're all back together on this side. Now we're going to transition back to the vehicle. Okay guys, to wrap this thing up, the installation is just the reverse of the way that we put it in or took it off. So the easiest way is to get this thing clipped. I will typically put these 2 top middle screws in to kind of hold it in place. And then what you do is you'll add pressure right here in the front to be able to clip these in on both sides. Then the next kind of confusing step or things that you don't want to forget is the clips that are on the inside of the fender or underneath the flare. Don't forget to install those. And then also the sensors that we unplugged over here. If you install it and forget to plug them back in, you can reach back through here. You have access to them. Make sure those are installed or else your TSS sensor will not work. And then from there, I install all the hardware on the top, fender flares, and then the bottom. And then this is the final product. I just want to go over the blind spot monitoring and just like the TSS sensor, showing that this grill does work with these vehicles really well. Obviously I got the parking brake on, no seat buckle, but no TSS sensor alerts at all, because the TSS sensor isn't modified in any way. So just make sure that when you do install that, you install it just how you took it out, and you're gonna be good to go. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good one.